Magazine Monday, Magazine Monday, Magazine Monday. What are you reading today? Got the old Rio Grande going around the N-scale layout in the corner of the garage. This is my little inspiration piece. You know, it feels good to have a little miniature forest. Those are eucalyptus trees, or at least that's what I was modeling there. So this is Stockton Valley lines. Got a nice little car distribution or import facility. Got our Rio Grande, which would technically be attached to the Southern Pacific sometime in the 80s. Got a fish house somewhere at the Delta. Nice little whoosh, mobile home, whoosh, gas station, and whatnot. Good things, cool things. And the hits keep coming. Well, we were supposed to do an episode, or actually did an episode, but I didn't end up airing it. Timmy, all you're doing is holding a camera up and going through some books. Yes, that may be what I'm doing, but EMD and GE road switcher units on the Conrail, and wasn't really feeling my little walkthrough. I am going to walk through it, but was just not. It didn't come across to me the way that it wanted to come across to me. So we'll get back to this book in a little bit. Obviously, we're sitting on top of a table that I'd been working on. Layout platform, however you want to call it. We're doing a nice little N-scale layout. We're going to be giving this away to another wonderful, I don't want to call them clients. I would just say a receiver of the donations that we give away in the Railroads Rock Foundation. But let's get into the craftsman of railroad modeling, otherwise known as railroad model craftsman. If you're a craftsman that loves model railroading, you're ready to model a railroad as a craftsman. Let's go. So let's start here. What is the January 1983? Love this. Got a nice little switching unit right here. Some sort of a Baldwin unit. I believe that's Baldwin. Love the Tech 2s. Love the Tech anything. Tech 2 Advanced. Love these. If you got a DC layout or just a small layout, these things are bulletproof. They work good. If you're ever in a hobby shop and you see, I don't know if MRC still manufactured these or manufactures them. I don't think they do. If they do, cool, I'm wrong. If they don't, then I'm right. But one way or the other, if you see these in a hobby shop, grab one. Test it out before you purchase it. But if it works, it will always work. Look at this. 55-foot center flow hopper. Love those. Totes faves. Let's get in. Buy our stuff. Tons of stuff. Buy more stuff. Just tons of stuff. This is how you used to have to do it, ladies and gentlemen. You'd find the address on here. People would be advertising what they're selling. And if you're buying what they're selling, then hey, it must be good. 49 Main Street, Peabody, Massachusetts. Look at that. My goodness. It graced John Allen's spectacular Gore and Depatipatu Railroad. Can you imagine being that much of an influence on model railroading to where in an advertisement they're like, well, you know, it was this guy put it on this railroad, so you must want it. Look at this, Overland models. These are just pictures of the real things, but I'll tell you what, even back in the day, if you were buying brass, good Lord, must have been something. Introducing Beam's new J.B. Turner Decanter. Ooh, that looks like fun. All right, let's keep moving. Indiana and Ohio, a prototype study. This is really cool because back in the day, as you can see, this is the state of Indiana, this is the state of Ohio, and then they've done pictures in the cutout. I love how this kind of pops out at you, kind of a three-dimensional look. What a cool-looking unit. That is so retro, that white, orange, and red with the black base on it. Huge fan. Loving it. I'm loving it. Really cool looking. And I like this idea of the layout You got a nice little overview. I designed a layout. And it's a good track plan. I'm a fan. I could dig. I like how you have a double peninsula. You have your one peninsula here, your other peninsula there, and then you bring it back in between. This could be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I love how it really focuses in on some of the prototypical ideas for industry of the time. That's a cool thing. And then you have some different ideas. So different track plan ideas. Maybe you're going to do a wall, like a nice little wall's edge walk around, and it could turn into that, and that's where you could put your industries. Nifty. And look at that. Maybe it could be a two-layered. Maybe it could be an upper and a lower deck. So you'll have the lower deck or the upper deck. That's cool. Got your Soo line. Got your flat cars. A lot of cool stuff. I like how they keep this switcher in the mix. Come on, focus, mate. Focus. Really cool. Really cool throwback. And we keep on moving. I like this. Ooh, wait, hang on. Making cars into sheds. I am very much liking this. I actually have a couple of these. Got a collection donated to me. And there was a couple of box cars that had been turned into sheds. And I was like, wow, that's a great idea. Just taking... Look at these structures. Hey, an old box car. Now it's a shed. Propane tanks. Something's heated. I like this one. Look at that, all boarded up. I'm getting ideas right now. I actually utilized this on my HO scale structure. Or not HO scale structure, I'd say diorama. But I used an N scale tank car. Put it on blocks. Turned it into a water storage facility. I like this. Nice little distribution hopper. So not exactly a shed. But I love that. Look at that. Modeling car body sheds. Look at this tiny little thing. It's a X-box car, but now it's like a yard house shed. With a nice little stove in it, mate. Look at that. Great Northern. That's like a doodlebug. It's like an ex-doodlebug that has been turned into... Yeah, like a yard house office. I like this. Look at that. And then there you go. The end of a caboose right there. Guy sitting on the edge. Oh, yeah, just a little yard house. Just a shed. There's another Soo line caboose. Put some windows on it. You're winning. That's really cool. The heck, man. Ugh, back of my hand. Gross. Cut my hand the other day. Hang on, can you see it? The crown of the king has been cut. It's okay. Metaphor? Maybe. Euphemism? Possibly. There we go. Backing out. Here we go. Got some blueprints on the auto parts plant. Love it. The cool thing is back in the day, you could take these blueprints and translate them. Where is it? I just had it. You could translate this right into an HO scale. Look at that. It even says 187 scale. And you could translate this directly into a 187 scale model if you wanted to really get down to business. Let's get down to business. I love this. What is this? Boats and water. Modeling the boats and water. These are great graphics. Congratulations, 1983 Railroad Model Craftsman. You are winning. Look at that. You have the bases for the boat right there. So when you get to it, there you are. You're winning, you're winning, you're winning. That is a beautiful picture right there. Like I said, I used the Varathane. This is obviously dyed. They had to have dyed that to make it a nice little blue. The Varathane's a little bit harder to dye blue, or a true blue. Newfoundland division. Whoosh. It's hard to dye it a true blue because the Varathane has kind of a yellow tint. So with that yellow tint, you get more of a greenish resolution in the water. But don't let that stop you from being awesome, because as you can see, you could still get a little bit of muddy water or blue. This is actually with Varathane. This is on this little N-scale layout I've worked on for a hot minute. And you can just see that Varathane, even if you color the base of the board a little bit, it makes it, it immediately gives it depth. And you can't tell how deep that water is But I'll tell you what, the difference in color gives it a little bit of depth. Love this right here. Look at that little steam engine making its way down the old skaboodle. Making my way downtown with a tractor on the fire access road. What are we doing? Come on, focus. Really love this rock work on the side of the thoroughfare. Really neat stuff. As we move along, love this little Newfoundland division. That'd be Canadian, wouldn't it? Those Canucks playing with their pucks. Look at this, a bilingual locomotive, mate. Which means that's probably... Oh, they're talking about... Okay, sound, stuff like that. Even back then, having a little bit of sound in the locomotive. That's cool. Wow, Pennsylvania Railroad. If you get a chance, swing by the Railroads Rock Show store and pick up a little bit of Railroads Rock merch. Help fund the old pirate ship that keeps sailing on and sailing on. Indiana and Ohio track maps. Gotta love it. Buy our stuff. Buy our stuff. More alcohol. Yeah. Tank Train. Love it. Dave Donaldson, my homie Dave Donaldson. Also, something my buddy John Mariscalco sent me. I was a little curious about more stuff to buy. Charles Railroad Supply. Mariscalco, love this. That looks so cool. Gave me a little bit of a heads up that the stock cars ran into the early 90s. But I'd like to believe the mid 80s. But yeah, early 90s. I had a question about stock cars and what happened to them, and it was such a big thing. And then obviously, I have to say it had something to do with animal rights and whatnot. So getting into the 90s, that is a beautiful looking Union Pacific caboose. Speaking of which, I believe Union Pacific still ran stock cars up into the late 80s, early 90s. Now, if anybody knows, go ahead and double check my math. But like I said, my homie John, Mr. Mariscalco, he's got a great Southern California layout in his basement. And I'm stoked to know him and call him a friend. He gave me a little bit of that tunnel motor. That's a good-looking tunnel motor. And the crane. He let me know, yeah, Timmy, they worked their way through the 80s into the early 90s. But yeah, stock cars definitely had their way around and about with them up until, like, really the 70s. And then into the 80s, they started fighting a bunch of animal protective laws and stuff. But that's the end of it. Look at that. Got some M-Track stuff on the back to just look at some cool pictures. We've got the Super Liner. And tomorrow, M-Track's new Superliner trains are the first all-new passenger trains built in this country in 30 years. Wow, didn't know that. Or did I? And they have marked a dramatic chapter in the turnaround of American long-distance passenger train. Passengers are pleased to sample the comforts of Superliner equipment on such trains as the Empire Builder, the Pioneer, the Coast Starlight, the San Francisco Zephyr, the Sunset Limited, the Southwest Limited, and the Desert Wind, as well as in local service in the Pacific Northwest and Great Lakes corridors. Pacific Fast Mail will soon be bringing you HO scale models of these beautiful new trains crafted by and we thought you'd enjoy a preview of some of their features. Well, that's awesome. And so are all of you. Thank you for tuning in to another Magazine Monday. Maybe we'll get to February soon. Or maybe we'll get back to Conrail, the final years. But until then, keep being awesome, rock and roll, and just remember your most important signal is going to be your next one.